There are three phases in land development. Number one phase is the underdeveloped phase. The second phase is the pre-developed phase. Then the last phase is developed phase. The first phase, which is the underdeveloped phase, it is when the land is typically bush, no infrastructure in place. Okay, that particular phase is usually for land banking. Okay, this is where most developer will be selling you hope. They will tell you 24 hours electricity, top notch security. Then when you go for inspection, you will not see anything. What you just see is thick forest. Okay. Then the next phase is the pre-developed stage when you start seeing the road networks, then you start seeing some few buildings around the site, you start seeing some perimeter fences around. Do you understand? That is the pre-developed phase. Then the developed phase is when the entire area has been fully developed. Do you understand? Normally, the best phase to enter into the market is usually the pre-developed phase, where you started seeing just roads, okay, and few fences around. That is usually the best phase to enter into the market, because at that place, that is where you experience a quantum leap in the appreciation of the property. That's the best phase to enter into the market. Okay. The first phase of land development, which is the underdeveloped, is usually for land bankers. Okay, but in River State, for you to do an effective and efficient land banking, you must take note of these things I'm going to be sharing with you. Otherwise, you will cry, "I die no" at the end. Number one, if you want to do land banking at this phase, because what you are buying now is hope. No infrastructure, nothing, it's just bush, and the land is quite very cheap. You can buy in acres, you can buy as many plots as you can. The number one things you need to put in place, you need to check with your developer, is that ensure that the developer has a perimeter fence around his entire property. This is very, very important. Number two, ensure that the developer has a gatehouse for the estate. This is number two. Okay. Then number three, ensure that you have an exit period. You can give yourself 5 years. That okay, now that I bought an acre with this estate, and there's a perimeter fence, there's a gatehouse. After 5 years, I'm going to either sell uh, half of this acre and to redevelop the other half, or roll the money over to the next investment. These are the three strategies that you need to do as a land banker in River State. Then, if you are doing a direct land banking with the community, you don't want to buy with a real estate company, put your ear down. Do a proper due diligence. There are a lot of frauds going on now in River State, because in those areas that are pre-developed, there is no way you can actually easily get the real owner of those land, because a lot of them are inherited properties. So most often at time, they can actually set up some of their gangs. They will say this person is the owner of the land, and they tell you a lot of the story and history behind the property, and they sell it, whereas they are not actually the owner of that particular property. You understand me now? So there are a lot of frauds. So ensure that you find out the community head, the CDC, they call them CDC, the community development chairman, that knows all the various family that owns all the land. Take your time to do a proper due diligence. Otherwise, you enter one chance if you are buying directly from the families. for land banking. Then number two, give yourself a minimum of 1 year. If you don't have money to actually do a perimeter fencing on time, within 1 or 2 years, you have been able to secure the property, do a perimeter fencing around it. If you want to lease it out for farming, you can lease it out for farming. So in Rivers State, some of the current locations that are still under the land banking stage are Ishokpo, Omagwa, Ikpo, Umuademe, Abara. Okay, these are some of the few locations I can still remember some in the area that are close to us here. But make sure that those things I have measured in the previous video, go and watch my previous videos, that you put them in proper place. Otherwise, what you are just doing, you are just contributing money for either the community or the family or the real estate person. Okay, the time will come where it will now go to the next phase, because it's already graduating to the next phase. In between the land banking and the land grabbing phase, there is usually an intermediate phase where they start reselling those empty land that either real estate bought or they sold to individuals. Okay, since they noticed that okay, some of this real estate they came around, they just bought, or some have not even paid fully. And a lot of these real estate have actually resold all these properties and they've rolled the money into other locations. What they now do is that they start, some of the family that contributed, that came together to donate such community land, they start coming out one after the other. They will sell 2 plots, the other one will sell 3 plots, the other one will sell 4 plots. So that is where land grabbing phase will start coming in gradually. After they start robbing Peter to pay Paul, it will now probably escalate to litigation, escalate to arrest and other things like that. Before you know it, land grabbing activity will now gradually crawl in. At that phase now, the land in that location has developed. Okay, so watch out for the next video. Yeah, places like Atali, Inika, Umotube, Umuchoko, and Iriebe and all that, they've gone past the land banking phase. You are not expected to buy land here and keep, because they've undergone the second phase, which is the pre-developed phase. It has been pre-developed and it's not developed. Okay, and land grabbing activity has gone and passed. As at 2010, 2011, these places I measured were for land banking. Then 5 years down the line, land grabbing came in and the entire area was developed. Land banking has come and gone. Yeah. But however, people who have several empty plots of land in this location I've mentioned, they are still prone to land grabbing. This location, they are not for land banking. They are for land development. Okay, you see, because of this entire location has been developed. Their electricity, their security, their infrastructure, solar, street light here and there, and all the estate have their management escorts in place. So it will not be wise for you to go and do land banking in such location, because you'll be posing security threats to all the neighbors around your properties. All the locations that have become part of the city, Port Harcourt City today, have one way or the other undergone all these phases. So my main point is for you to be strong and to be courageous and understand the pattern, and most importantly, have all the requisite knowledge on what to do if you are in any of the phases. Okay, if you are in the land banking phase, know what to do to be safe, to play safe in that phase. If you are in the land grabbing phase, know what to do. Don't run away. Don't say because they are grabbing and grabbing. They are human beings. They are approachable. Okay, a lot of people have run and left their land like that due to fear. I give you an example. This Eneka Ligbeche Road, a lot of people bought land when Che were occupying the whole of that houses. Now, Atali has come to take over that place now. You come back and you come back on time and negotiate. That is how the business. You don't run away. Be strong. Okay. Every I give you, where I'm standing now, it has undergone the same phase. You understand? So it is to give you an awareness on how to approach the real estate business. Every business has its own risk. These are some of the minor risks in the real estate. So don't, your own is not to panic, your own is not to complain. Your own is just know how to navigate the entire way and make sure that your property is safe, irrespective of the phase you are in. In 2012, in 2012, this if you go to Rumowa, that Pear Garden, that share cooperative that is now a major estate now, that is now part of the city now. The whole of that place was grabbed. We have project in that place. It was grabbed. In fact, when I was driving out on a particular day, there were a lot of armed forcemen that came around. They even asked me to sit down on the ground. So I've seen a lot of things that have given me a lot of requisite experience to be able to advise you if you are investing in River State that River State is one of the peaceful states. You can do land banking, you can do land development, you can do any kind of business with your land. Some are even doing agriculture on their properties. But just know the best way to approach each of the phase so that you minimize your finger from being burnt. I hope this has helped somebody.